How about them Dogs? That is our next topic. The college football playoffs. Man. So, a little bit of preface, right? Generally, when big Georgia games are going on, like championship games, I'm usually with friends, like a bunch of people. Going as far back as 2013, right, which happened the year after the Falcons lost in the NFC Championship to the Niners. The same year, because it was January 2013 for the Falcons. It was December 2013 that the Dogs and Alabama played each other for the SEC Championship game. One of the best SEC Championship games, and we lost it by just by this much. It literally mirrored Falcons and Niners. And I was watching it with a bunch of friends. I've never felt so dejected after a game. And then came the National Championship game in 2017, or January 2018, the 2017 season. That's another one. We were up 20-7 at one point.
Yeah.
Nick Saban, At the half, I think it was 20-10 at the half. And Nick Saban takes out Jalen Hurts and brings in Tua Tagovailoa, who no one had any tape on, and freaking destroyed us. Forces overtime and then blown coverage, Tua to Devontae Smith, Dogs loose. So it's it was just all these concepts. And I was in Athens with a bunch of friends watching that. So there's all this constant disappointment. I went to see the SEC Championship game 4 weeks ago at an Alabama bar, hoping this was going to be, Georgia knocking out Alabama, get to gloat in front of all of them. And Georgia had played their worst game of the year. So, going into this game, a friend had said, hey, let's go to Taco Mac. And I really considered it. And then I took a nap, and it was getting close to time. And I think it was just one of those kismet sort of things where I just wasn't meant to go. I woke up late enough. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make myself some nasty little bachelor type meal. It was some ham, Hawaiian bun, and some honey. And I heated it up. I'm like, I'm staying here. I'm staying here and I'm watching this by myself. And sure enough, I did. And I will never watch a Georgia championship game with people ever again.
Because that was the curse, right? That was the curse breaker.
Such a good freaking performance. The first half, and I know people will be like, "What are you talking about? No one scored any touchdowns." Or the big draw of the Georgia football team for the entire year was that Georgia defense. That's what we always heard about: Georgia defense. And boy, did they show up! My goodness, they were so good.
If you like defensive struggle games are honestly good games. That LA Rams versus New England Patriots, that was a defensive struggle game. So
I didn't like that one. The Super Bowl.
No, but because that one was boring. Boring. But you see a lot of skills were in there, right? You got to see two master defenses going against each other. This one was probably the same thing. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it, but it's also college football, so there's a little bit good flashiness involved too.
Yeah, exactly. There was a lot of flashiness defensively. And the second play of the game, Jalen Hurts gets hits. I said Jalen Hurts. They look so much alike. Bryce Young gets hit from behind, and the ball gets loose. Georgia scoops it up and scores, and we think, oh my God, second play of the game, we're already up 7-0. They overturn it. They're like, no, he was passing the ball. We're like, oh, here we go. The refs are gonna give this thing to Bama.
Yeah.
But it was just
you think it was trash, that call?
I think it was borderline.
Or is it one of those?
I feel like if that one was not a fumble, then the one that Stetson Bennett gets later in the game, which I will talk about, should not have been a fumble either. They were both similar to me. Anyway, so Bryce Young starts driving. We're like, man, this guy's gonna carve us up again. But the defense showed up when they needed to show up, held them to 3 points. We went back out. We got our drive. It was a 3-and-out. We're like, man, Stetson Bennett's not looking good. Bama gets the ball again. Defense stops them. We get our drive. Another 3-and-out. Like, oh my goodness. So we're like, the Georgia defense is gonna gas out, but no, they didn't. It was either gonna be that Bryce Young slows down because he was doing a lot of like Patrick Mahomes style stuff, even with the sidearms. But Bryce Young is a good freaking quarterback. And it was either going to be Bryce Young slows down or the Georgia defense slows down. And the Georgia defense won that war of attrition. Finally, when Georgia got their first touchdown, it was due to just one breakout run. That was like a 66-yard run that took us into the red zone. The very next play, Stetson Bennett tries to run it and freaking fumbles. But luckily, like, he falls on his fumble. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Like, it's Stetson Bennett is not that guy. He's just not that guy. That was my thought process at the time. Then we run a run play to Zamir White, who we call Zeus. And oh no, was it Cook? No, it was White. So Stetson Bennett almost fumbles a snap before handing it off. I'm like, yo, what is going on with Bennett, man? Like the jitters. But we scored a touchdown, we take the lead. So it's just more of that.
Yeah.
And then so it's a bunch of scoring goes on. Bryce Young does really well. But then the fumble I'm talking about was like a long third down in Georgia territory. And Stetson Bennett's trying to extend the play for some reason, instead of just like taking the sack. So he goes and he tries to like throw it, but the refs it wasn't forward enough, and like it was basically a fumble. But the Bama guy nonchalantly like caught the ball before it went out, and it was a recovery in Georgia red zone. Bama drives, Bama scores. So we're like, man, we're screwed. 18-13. Bennett doesn't look like he's got this right now. And then we get a good return.
Then he told you could shut the hell up.
Yeah, this is like late in the fourth quarter. And yeah, boy, did I shut the hell up. Because we got a good return. Then we got a penalty that got us in range. And then a friend of mine said, and he didn't use the word F, he actually used the actual word. He said, it's finally time that Stetson Bennett plays some effort football, right? But the reason was because it was a free play. The Bama guy went offside. So he's like, oh, all right. And he chucked it. But
that wasn't within range. You said within range, but that was not within range. That was a good.
That was like a 40-yard.
Oh, play. Got you. Because that was a dime.
Yeah. No, I meant, when did I say within range? Like,
I don't know. You said something got y'all within range, but that was a dime, man. That was a beautiful pass.
That was a fantastic pass. But up to that point, Bennett had been playing like, I don't want to be the one that makes a mistake, right? So I'm not going to do anything like crazy.
Then you know what that means? That means that he was very intelligent in that right there, because he knew he had a free play. That was that's a veteran move right there. That was a veteran move. He knew he had a free play, so he's like, screw it. They intercept it. It's coming back anyways because it's on them.
I definitely give him credit for that and props to that, because yeah, he knew it was a free play. He chucked it up. The freshman receiver, I forget his name now, but he's number 5. He goes and makes a fantastic catch. Touchdown. We're like, okay, we've got the lead.
And actually, I got to take it back. He wasn't a dime, because actually I think he had to look back. He had to slow down, look back. But that's right. The wide receiver adjusted beautifully on that play.
Yeah, it wasn't a dime, but it was also one of those areas where probably only the receiver can get it.
To catch it.
In a 50-50 ball type of that. So, yeah, that was fantastic. And then Georgia defense came bowed up again. And so now we have a 1-point lead. They stopped Bryce Young. They forced, no, it was an interception. No.
There was an interception.
No, not that one. That one was a punt. So they forced a punt. Georgia drives against just run. And then finally, screen pass to what my friend called Gen Z Gronk. What's his name? Bowser? Not Bowser. We call him Bowser, but his name is something close to Bowser. Anyway, number 19. Screen pass as Bennett gets like knocked the F out. And he gets the screen pass, runs it in, touchdown, and I screamed so loud. I'm sure my neighbors are like, what the hell's going on over that house? I was so freaking happy. So now we're up by 8. And then in that next drive is where Bryce Young trying to force things to happen through a pick 6. And you can see Bennett on the sideline crying. everyone. Look, it's 41 years, man.
And
It's a
you
big
saw
deal.
Alabama give up on that pick six because that should not have been a pick six. Interception, yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the Bama guys should have stopped him. You could see that right there. That deflated them completely.
So I wonder about that though, because if you stop him on that interception with an 8-point lead, I think Georgia can pretty much kill off the game.
Yeah.
Kill off the clock. So I wonder if it was a situation of let them score so we can have an attempt to score.
No. Unless Nick Saban will literally say a just in case we're in this particular situation, ain't no player gonna think, oh, let him score and then we could try to catch. Nah, it was you could tell they gave up. They gave up on that play. They gave up. They really right then they're like, all right, this is finally their year. It ain't gonna be our year. Yeah. Good season, guys.
And it's a big deal, man. Like I know people want to be like, okay, your first win, like act like you've been here before or something. We haven't been here before. It's 41 years. Of course, we're freaking.
One thing though, and you saw my Facebook post on this. Pisses me off every time an Atlanta team won something. All of a sudden, people want to talk shit about the Falcons about how they haven't won anything, and I'm like, yo, this is different teams. First of all, you can't say NFL and college football are the same because honestly, with college football, those elite teams, if you look at the damn schedule, they got like 3 to 4 hard games and that's it. All the other games.
There's a big gap between, like, there's a lot of parity in the NFL, right? Like at any given, I wouldn't say all 32 teams can win it in any year, but I'd say in any given year, I'd say a good 12 teams have a good chance.
Jacksonville Jaguars beat the hottest team and one of the hottest teams in the NFL, the very last to get them out of the playoffs. It is any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Breeze with, I remember when we started our first season at Georgia State University, we had Alabama. Mm-hmm. We knew that wasn't going to be a win. We knew we weren't going to disappoint them. We were just there for the ride, because I think it was the second year that we went against Alabama. Like, because, that was one of those, like, hey, play us, we'll give you money kind of situations, and the Bulls did that with us too. So it was just like, so I hate that always happens. But honestly, enjoy the Bulldogs win because now Georgia has technically we have 3 championships within the last, 4 years, 3 years?
Yeah. 4 years.
MLS was I think Atlanta United was in
2018, December 2018.
So in 4 years, they had 3 championships. Like,
yeah.
For a city and a state that only had 1 championship prior, from 1990 whatever.
Like forever.
Exactly.
So 95. Yeah. Obviously, he's alluding to the Braves winning this past November. So I was so happy. I woke up this morning still smiling. I don't know, man. It's a weird thing because literally every team I support in every sport is like those like bad news Bears teams. Like right now I'm wearing my Newcastle United sweater thingy, tracksuit thingy. Anyone who follows English football knows Newcastle is in the bottom 3 right now at risk of getting relegated. So that sucks. But then we also just got knocked out of the FA Cup by Cambridge, a team in the third tier of English football. So, things aren't looking great. But that's the team I support. I've been supporting them since 98.
So you're the problem.
Then maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. I'm rooting for the Braves since like 2010, 2011.
Next year, you need to eat before every Falcons game a Hawaiian roll, ham, and honey sandwich. Yes. I think that was the trick. I think that was the reason.
Yeah, that's 17 weeks of terrible food. Yeah, so anyway, that's college football playoffs.
Go Dogs. Man, go Dogs. They won the Natty. That's what's up.
Yes. Athens is going to be wild this weekend. All right.